ghouls and guys, hellions and goblins. We are back for episode 22 of the Near Death Diary podcast. I'm your host, Deadeye Two Tongues, and with me is the faithful Fog Gilly.
Welcome.
Coming in clutch with the spooky vibes, as always, Fog Gilly.
It's getting closer to Halloween.
Yes, it is. The veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead, seemingly.
It will only get spookier and spookier until November 1st, and then it becomes, I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, then it becomes the day of the turkey. Why don't we ever feel the thousands of turkey souls?
You don't?
Yeah, I mean the veil gets thin, but afterwards it's still thin. It's just on its way out. It's moving in a cycle, much like anything. You think you would feel all of the thousands of turkeys? You do.
Yeah.
You hear the lamenting of 1,000 turkey gobbles.
Wake up in the night with a gobble in my ear.
Dude, there it is. There it is. But Cody and I are still coming off of the IRL vibes that we did last week. Episode 21, Moonville Tunnel Investigation. A lot of things happening in the dead of night while we are unaware throughout that entire experience. Looking back through the footage and seeing things that we did not see while we were there. A lot of things getting picked up by our audio recording tech. In hindsight, there's a few points that really sent a chill up my spine.
Yes, I want to know what happened to my ear.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a weird thing like that happen to my ear as well. I mean, you remember?
I don't think it was on video though.
No, I don't think it was either, but kind of eerily similar to what you had experienced.
Eerily.
You like that?
Ear.
I wrote that last week. Yeah.
Put that in the tunnel. As soon as it happened, this will be a pun.
Right? Just crushing it over here with the super awesome, amazing puns. What can I say? I'm punny. Anyway, how the hell you guys been? Chat. Let us know how you been. We love each and every one of you guys. Thanks for coming back for episode 22. And I think we're feeling good today.
Feeling it.
I'm feeling it. You feeling it?
Feeling it.
Feeling good too. So, any new developments? Well, yes, of course. It's Cody and I. It's Fog Gilly and the Deadeye. Of course, we're always, making it much harder on ourselves than we need to and taking on way more than we can chew. And we decided that we didn't have enough to gobble. So we decided that we were going to start a vampire investigation group.
Oh, yes.
And we sat for hours thinking about what we should name it and our mission statement and, what would be like a good name. And Cody, you want to tell them what we came up with?
Well, first off, we got to tell them why.
Well, yeah. So we do plan after a story that was told here on the Near Death Diary podcast. We kind of stumbled into a bit of a rabbit hole with finding some reports where people could only describe what they were experiencing as a supernatural encounter. And best description that they had was that it was maybe a vampire. And that also kind of coordinates with a story that was told on the Near Death Diary podcast by one of our amazing followers and Patreon subscribers. And
called Oktoberfest.
The story is Oktoberfest. You can go through and you can find that in our many totally bingeable episodes. But a woman had a paranormal experience with what appeared to be a vampire. So, Cody and I, getting into the spooky season and getting, into sweater weather, decided that it would be pretty awesome to spend our time going to Cincinnati during Oktoberfest to see if we couldn't find any sort of evidence on these said interactions with vampires. So of course, we had to come up with an entire vampire investigation team. So far, it's just me and Cody, but we were very hopeful. But we had to give it a powerful name. We did. We had to give our mission statement. We had to give all of that. And after a long debate, Cody, tell them what we came up with.
We came up with Vampire Analysis Group, or Investigations into Nocturnal Affairs.
See? Powerful. Doesn't that just say, we're here to figure this out? Vampires, beware, or just be chill. I mean, let's all be honest. If a vampire came out and wasn't trying to suckle you,
no suckle zone.
Yeah, you would be like, hey, what's up, dude? I've always heard about you guys. Why don't you give us the skinny? And that's what we're hoping happens. But we mean business, and we'll throw down. Cody and I will put ourselves as a barrier between you, the public, and the citizens of our lovely country. We will put ourselves as the barrier, and we will take the sucking. Won't we, Cody?
Wait, what?
Yeah, you heard me.
How about...
Vampires are out there trying to suck our friends, and I can't have that.
No, yeah, I don't want to get sucked either. We just stop the sucking.
Well, I mean...
No sucking!
I think you're looking at this through, the wrong window here.
I'll use some garlic butter neck cream. Suckle this.
There's this fella on the old TikTok who's doing a pretty good little bit where he's explaining that he's a vampire and vampires are real, and he does a really good job. It is. After you watch enough episodes, you're like, okay. But first couple ones I watched, it seemed as if he was, you were watching, you were like, what if this guy's just breaking the code here and letting us all know? But he was actually talking about how garlic and the idea that vampires don't like garlic was a psyop by the vampires themselves, in which they were like, if you eat garlic, we won't want anything to do with you. But in all actuality, it was a twist. You see, you eat the garlic. Garlic helps thin your blood, making you easy to suck.
We'll see what happens, I guess. I don't know.
Well, any hoodle, we came up with this whole investigation team, and we're all excited for it. And we run to secure the LLC so no one else can take it. And we put in our info and everything. And then when it's all said and done, we realize
it's a little on the long side. So of course we had to abbreviate it.
Yeah. We tried to abbreviate it, and we realized that it spells vagina, which we're fine with. We're going to take to the streets, just rocking, just two guys representing vagina.
We mean business.
Yeah, we do. And me and Cody, we're tough. We are members of vagina. We can take a beating.
These vaginas mean business. That is what everyone's going to say when we leave.
And they ain't going to get a drop of blood out of us, because these vaginas don't bleed. Nope. Hell no. The toughest vaginas you've ever seen on planet Earth. So hopefully you guys can get behind that kind of, if you want, become members of vagina too, and help us investigate and see if these vampires.
Here's an idea.
What, you just going to cut me off?
Here's an
I'm
idea.
in the middle of something.
Yeah,
What?
but this might be better than what you were going to say.
Oh, maybe no one will ever know.
What if we just make everyone in Tier 3 of Patreon honorary vagina members?
Ooh. Hey. That's something. Well, what do you guys think about that, chat? What do you guys think about that? Tier 3 members? Auto, vagina members. You guys let us know in the comment section. But we are having some swag, some t-shirts made to commemorate our moving forward as a vampire investigation team. You know, and we'll make sure that you guys see them designs over there on Patreon. I think they're going to come out absolutely perfect. Nothing will go wrong with them whatsoever.
Perfect.
Every time. But
Speaking of shirts,
oh, that's right. It is, in fact, a Friday, which means that we're going to be giving away a t-shirt to the top super chatter. That's right. You can drop a super chat in the comment section and have your comment appear big, large print. And right here you go. This is the t-shirt we will be giving away for this month's top super chatter. Now, this is just a prototype here. We are going to be doing this t-shirt on black because I think we're going to start doing all of our shirts on black. However, we are getting to the point where we can order in bulk. So that is what we are waiting for. That's why sometimes whenever we show the t-shirt, we show it on a different color, but the shirt will be in black. And if you want to be one of the lucky 4 recipients of the t-shirt, then you can go ahead and be tonight's top super chatter. Shirt will only be made 6 times. That is 7. I totally show 7. It'll be 6 made. 2 for Cody, 4 for the recipients of the Hellfire Hero t-shirt for that month. So if you would like to maybe jump on a little piece of history, maybe these are going to be like Babe Ruth cards someday. Maybe. Do you have faith in this?
I mean,
faith
yes.
is all we have between us and the monsters lingering in the echo screen. You got to have some faith, man.
We're doing it.
I'm tired of being the only one with faith in this group. My feelings are hurt. Hey, before we start getting into our stories, we're going to do the normal rundown. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys would like to support us, you could go to our other social medias and you can follow me and Cody there. So if you guys want to help out, it's something you can do. Other than that, we have our Patreon, Deadeye Two Tongues 740. That is a way that you guys can directly help us monetarily, and we like to give back in different ways over on our Patreon. You should go check it out. We're going to put our Patreon right here, right there. If you're interested, you want to help some people out, we are always thinking of new ways in which we can give back to you guys. We're still relatively young in the Patreon game, and it's still 2 people handling all of the inner mechanics of the Hellfire Holler parent company, which everything falls underneath. But if you guys like the cut of our jib, those are ways you can support us. So I think we got all of the out of the way.
Let's get to the stories.
Anything you can think of?
No. I'm ready to be scared.
You ready to be spooked? All right. Well, let's get into our first story of the night, titled Witch, Pig, or Prankster by Miss Nina Wells. Nina, hello. Nina writes in and says, Hi, I have a spooky and wild story from when I was younger and camping with my friends in the forest. So I'm from England. I lived in a quiet part of the New Forest. I was with some girlfriends and some guys my friends knew. We were all in our late teens. We wanted to have some drinks and then camp by the river by some trees. We had all heard the spooky stories. We knew about the witches and how old the forest was, so we were in spooky mode. Anywho, we had a couple beers, and then around midnight maybe, the guys decided to head home as if it was just us girlies camping.
That doesn't sound like a guy thing to do.
I have a feeling that they're going to try to come back and scare her.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or scare the group, because I mean that's where my head goes. Like, I don't know. I know the woods and I know things that can happen, whether it be critters, or just strange, like anomaly and like in sound, things making you feel relatively unsafe. But man, like, and unless like, hey, we're just doing a girls' night. All right, adios. Here's what I would do stay safe, stay strapped. Here's a flamethrower in case shit goes sideways. But I wouldn't just be, you know, I feel like they're going to try to come back and play a prank. That's just me. But otherwise, shame. Shame. And did you have a DD? Come on now. So they headed back home. It was a fair walk back. It was about an hour. One of the girls walked to the road with them before heading back to us. So by the time we packed up and safely put out the fire, walked to the tent, settled down, it was probably early in the morning. Our friend called us saying she was on her way back to us. So we decided to settle down, start trying to sleep. What happened then we can't explain. We heard what sounded like someone or something running so fast around the tent, just round and around and around, scratching the tent, throwing sticks and objects at it, and snorting. Kind of sounds like a puckwudgie. Would you agree?
Yeah, something weird.
Sounds like puckwudgie behavior, but puckwudgie, that was in what, Connecticut? Isn't that where that story came from? Massachusetts. Yeah, I mean, I've been in spooky somethings like wandering around the tent. Most of the time it's just raccoons.
Yeah.
Little garbage pandas. Now we only heard what was one thing running, but objects were getting thrown from all directions. The scratching was like nails on the tent while running around it. It was constant, and the worst part was loud pig noises. I don't know. When I see a puckwudgie, I kind of can't help but think that would make kind of a pig noise. That's just my opinion. By the way, you can get those stickers at hellfireholler.com. It's right there. Sounded very puckwudgish. This went on for 10 minutes or so we were frozen for a while, until my friend and I said, fuck this, and opened the tent, and we leaped out. There was nothing there, though. No one running off. No noise of leaves, laughter, nothing. You think you would have heard something. We had torches, so we walked around and we looked everywhere. Now, we should probably put a clarification here. In the UK, they call flashlights torches. Isn't that interesting?
Yep.
I could see people getting lost in the visuals that they're walking around, with torches and stuff. But no, as a matter of fact, the folks over in the United Kingdom, they refer to flashlights as torches. I know. It's crazy. But all my people in the UK, what up? Shout out. Anybody in the chat from the UK, love ya. You guys rock. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. We had torches, so we walked around and looked everywhere. We would have seen and heard someone leave. It's a forest. You can't just run away and not snap a twig or crunch a leaf or something. Plus, it's silent. So we'd have heard something walk or run off. Mind you, we did leave the tent while this commotion was happening, so this thing had to have just vanished. It was so odd. I think it was a witch or something tormenting us. None of us knew what it was, and while we did get out and have our look around, our friend who was coming back called us, asking why we were shouting and screaming, and we stayed on the phone with her while she walked back, which was another 10 minutes. So time-wise, it wasn't her or the guys just playing a prank. Fun stuff. That's where my head was going, playing a prank, but it says very definitively at the end that it was not, in fact, them. So what do you think it was?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff over there that
sounds like a pig?
Yeah, I don't know what sounds like a pig. So that's what, I don't know. Maybe it was just a pig running around.
I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you. But, I mean, you think a pig wouldn't be able to launch sticks at your tent.
Yeah, it's thrown
scratch down it and all the other stuff that was referenced. I mean, that'd be pretty different in behavior of a pig.
Every time it's like weird paranormal camping stuff, it always takes me to like the Blair Witch Project. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some crazy stuff about the making of that movie
yeah,
where they genuinely terrified them, and then also like didn't really give them like their daily rations. They started lowering the amount of rations that they had because they in fact were kind of like wandering around the woods, like filming and doing all these different scenes, loosely and very ad lib, So I guess one of the things that the directors did was to like kind of entice agitation in the acting, was slowly kind of cut them off from the most basic human necessity,
I don't know.
food, which I guess created an atmosphere of desperation and hostility. Kind of reminds me of Stanley Kubrick's approach, like with the actor who played Wendy. I can't remember her name, but we're going to put her right here. Can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she walked away from that movie literally emotionally scarred
Yeah,
because of the method of filming. He like wanted her to be at the end of her rope, and it like psychologically warped her for the rest of her life and like changed her as a person. You gotta like wonder, is it really worth it? Stanley, Mr. Allegedly faked the moon landing.
don't know what that was though. Was it a pig, a witch, or a prankster?
You tell me. I don't know. Like, she made a couple good points. You're going to definitely hear something like petering off. You're at least going to be able to get the general direction in which it ran.
Yeah, you'd think. Even if it was like an animal or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that's spooky. A few times in the woods, I remember something like that and thinking to myself, I know every animal in the woods and like how they sound and the sounds they make. You can't help it growing up in Appalachia. All you have is woods. So whenever you hear something that doesn't line up with all the other noises you heard, it does kind of get spooky real quick. But what a good story. Thank you, Nina. Miss Nina Wells. And I don't see any of her socials on here, but hey, if you are in the chat tonight, Nina, why don't you drop those so people can get to know you, people can follow you, and maybe people can,
If you want to.
yeah, if you want. A lot of people rather enjoy being able to get their content or their business or what have you out into the internet. So if you want to, Nina, go ahead and drop that in the comment section or in the chat. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with animals over there, so I couldn't really make an assessment really. A wild pig, none of it really seems to make sense whenever you take into the account that it just seemingly vanished.
Yeah, the vanishing thing is really weird.
Yeah. Well, good story, though. A good first story for our night here around the internet campfire, and we're only going to stoke it up. But before we do, we're going to take a little time to give our sponsor, our first sponsor for the night, Hellfire Holler. We're going to give them a little bit of room to stretch their legs, and maybe you'll go and check out some of the fine products that they make over there at Hellfire Holler, your favorite herbal supplement company. Well, hello there, and welcome to Moonville Tunnel, a haunted tunnel here in Vinton County, southeast Ohio, in the rolling hills of Appalachia, the gateway to the Appalachian Mountains. Now, this tunnel is rumored to have a lot of history with spirit activity due to the many accidents that happened during the creation and also the life of this decommissioned tunnel. You can hear the spirits now. Oh, I hear one saying something. What is that? Oh, they're asking when they can get their hands on some Myco Mender. That's right, guys. Myco Mender. Take a look at that bottle right there. Look at that branding. That's right. Boasting 3 of the world's most potent and well-researched mushrooms, chaga, lion's mane, and turkey tail. A product designed to help you with mental focus, sleep, antidepressant property. It also helps your metabolism. It also helps your immune system, your hormone system, and it's full of antioxidants, eliminating free radicals and helping with inflammation in your body. An all-in-one package and supplement made by Hellfire Holler. Has every one of these bottles have been made with our love, our kisses, and our intent to help you with what ails you. Now, it's unfortunate they didn't have this back in the day, but we're gonna leave one for them. Anyway. Oh, yeah! Oh, ladies and gentlemen. How about them Hellfire Holler boys? How about that music you're hearing right there? That is our vampire investigation group theme music right there. I think it's fitting. What do you guys think? Can you see me and Cody like walking into a vampire den with like an explosion coming out from behind us? You know? I can see that. Slow motion, of course. That's the music that old Fog Gilly's been working on.
What's that vampire hunting group again?
Vagina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cody, give them the rundown one more time.
Stands for Vampire Analysis Group for investigations into nocturnal affairs.
That's right. We're coming for you. That's right. The Vagina boys are coming.
Those vampires won't know what hit them when the vagina's knocking on their doors.
Just ramming steaks all night. Jesus Christ. On to our second story. Thank you again, Hellfire Holler, for sponsoring us. Guys, go check out Hellfire Holler for your herbal needs. And we got a lot of awesome t-shirts on there. Here's an example. This one's not on the site as of right now. But you got
Timmy.
You got Timmy. Fucking Timmy. And you got everyone sitting around the old Hawaji board. Right there. You got, Wolfman. You got the, what is it? Loveland Frogman?
Frogman.
You got the Sammy Squanch. You got Mothman chilling there in the back. And you got the El Chupi Cabra on this t-shirt. Of course, our unofficial, friend, Timmy. Fucking Timmy. But before we move on to our next story, guys, just a quick reminder, if you'd like to check us out on Patreon, Deadeye Two Tongues 740, we're going to slap that right here at the bottom of the screen. You guys can go check that out. Support us and our cause. Talking maybe tier 3 members.
Honorary members of Vagina.
Is it tier 3 or is it tier 1? Does it go reverse?
No.
No, tier 3. Tier 3. You want to be a Vagina member? Run over there to our Patreon and subscribe. Become an honorary member of Vagina. Let's go ahead and stoke the internet campfire. Let's get them flames licking high into the night. And let's get on to our next story entitled Poor Henry by LEX. Poor Henry. What kind of visuals does that bring on for you?
A sad spirit.
That's what I'm thinking too. Maybe a poor spirit by the name of Henry.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, let's dive into this.
Crying ghost.
Second story. Well, it doesn't say crying Henry. It says
He's
he's poor.
poor.
If anything, he's
maybe
broke.
he just broke a broke ghost.
He doesn't have enough money for ghost candy. Poor Henry.
He doesn't have any ghost snacks.
It's like spelled. No, it's P-O-U-R. It's poor Henry. He just goes around pouring
I'm
stuff.
just lost now.
No, it's P-O-O-R. Poor Henry. All right, let's dive into the second story of the night. Chat, how we feeling before we go into this? How we feeling down there, guys? Let us know. Remember, we love each and every one of you guys. As long as I can remember, I've seen and heard things others couldn't, and eventually I just stopped talking about it. I knew I wasn't just the gatekeeper of a wild imagination. As I grew up, it became part of my life, and in some instances, nothing would happen for months at a time. I wasn't sure if it was me or my family. Were they just notorious for moving to haunted houses? I now know it was the former. It's me. It's always been me. I have so many experiences with the supernatural, but I shall tell you about one that left me with absolutely no doubts in the paranormal, and that we are simply separated by a thin veil between us and the afterlife. Ooh. Ooh. You know, it seems as if I may have a little bit of that.
Mm.
Several of our videos that we've done the IRL, when tech is handed to me, say trying to reach out, do you want to talk, or electromagnetic phenomenons, things like that. As soon as I touch these devices, it just goes off. Spirit boxes start talking. Probably because I have encountered the other side at one point in this life. I have been a disembodied ghost and spirit myself. But what does that mean for me? I guess you'll have to stay tuned to see. I live in an ancient town in England steeped in history. The legend of Boudica still haunts the castle walls, as does the horrors of the witchfinder general and the hanging tree he favored, of which has now stood for 900 years. God damn.
That's old. I want to go. I want to go visit that. I want to see that.
It's crazy, like here, like at least when it comes to, like outside of native history, there's not 900 years of like colonial history that's taken place here.
Yeah, things are so much older. And then I did a little research on that, and that there was a witchfinder general that like hung like 100 or like, well, not just hung, but like did other things, and like ended up like killing 100 and something people.
Yeah, and back then, like, the methods of finding it, like how if someone was supposedly a witch, like, was just horrible and designed to pretty much appease the onlooking crowd, the bloodthirst, the circus, like it rather unfair odds when being given a conclusive yes or no in the eyes of like the folks around you of whether or not you're a witch.
Yeah, that's once they kind of suspect you are,
you're
done.
You're done. Oh, we're gonna throw you under the water.
Even if you like are getting tortured, admit to it. Look.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then like the methods of like putting like a witch in a chair and dunking her, and like it's like, oh, if she floats, she's a witch. If she sinks, she's not. But also, if she sinks, she's dead. It's like, holy shit. Holy shit. That was just like a way of like weeding out the unfavorables, in my opinion.
I don't know if it's the same guy, but there's a real witchfinder general, and his name was Matthew Hopkins. Between 1645 and 1647, they identified and prosecuted suspected witches and resulted in the deaths of around 100 people.
Wow. That is a short time, too.
Yeah, that is a lot of just like...
Man.
What is the average on about 3 years of like going around just witch?
It would be a witch every 6 days?
I don't know.
So it'd be a little skewed. It'd be like every
2 or 3 weeks, probably. Like at least once a month.
I think it would be like, one a week at least.
Okay, yeah, 1645, 1647. So that's 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like 600 and...
Yeah. So you do the total
maybe
number
about 700 days.
Total number of days divided by the amount of witches.
Yeah.
What is that? Do the math real quick.
Okay, so 730 days,
Mm-hmm.
and
So-
we'll just go. I said around 100, but we'll just go with 100. So
Yeah, it'd be about
every 7 point.
day.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
week, about once a week,
Mm.
and then he'd there's a 0.3, so he probably every month he takes a day off.
Well,
or
just like hung them, and
takes
then
a Sunday off.
yeah, something leap year, something like that. And then the 0.3 is like he doesn't fully hang them. He just like gets them up there. They're not quite dead yet.
And what's crazy about that is like I've never really heard of that. A Witchfinder General and that many people, but you have heard of the Salem witch trials just because it's probably closer, but like it gets a lot more notoriety. Only 25 people were executed from that one compared to
Oh my gosh.
100. Like,
holy crap. It's like the anti-baby boom. How did you not screw your population? Just like, because everyone's already like passing away at an alarming rate, because like sickness and disease and stuff. And on top of that, it's like, especially like if you're like killing all the females.
I think this guy was just a serial killer, and like,
obviously with a license.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he just wanted to go kill people, and they were like, "Yeah, here's this job where you can." He's like, fuck yes.
I mean, you probably had an incentive plan. Hey, for every witch you get 2 pigs. It's like, oh man, look at all these witches. But yeah, that's not a good look. But back to the story. I have a housekeeping business, and on one particular day I let myself into the Old Sun, formerly a coaching inn that had been converted to a family home. Upon entering, and like many times before, the air was thick and static sent shivers across my flesh. I went about my business. Then there came a knock at the door. As I was alone, I answered. A young man stood upon the threshold, holding a raggedy old cat at arm's length toward me. "This yours?" Wait, hold on. I could do a great British accent. "This yours?" "Oh, that's Henry. He's..." I gotta give her an English accent.
You're gonna get caught up in.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You
No,
just
I'm
gotta
not.
read it.
No, I'm gonna read it. But I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it proper. "This yours?" he asked. "Oh, that's Henry. He's not mine, but this is his home." See? Tell me that doesn't enhance the story. Why are you laughing?
I just thought of something that was completely unrelated to.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go on with the podcast. Jesus Christ. The man approached to tell me that Henry had walked straight into the middle of the road and was nearly hit by an oncoming car. Of course, I thanked him and hugged the little ball of fluff before taking him inside. I finished my chores, and I left. The following week I returned, and the moment I entered the house, I had the most gut-wrenching feeling, and I involuntarily said, "Henry's dead." I don't know what came over me, but I knew it to be true. Oh, so she just picked up on the energy that this cat was gone. As I was vacuuming the staircase, I felt a sinister force envelop me. A most awkwardly cruel voice cut through the sound of the vacuum. "Poor Henry," it said in a sickening tone. I felt so upset that he was taunting me, I snapped back. "Why are you so nasty? Why don't you leave me alone?" Had everyone witnessed this, they would have surely thought that I'm insane. His reply was, "You're the only one that acknowledges me," which I didn't know whether to feel annoyance or privileged. I thought perhaps he was a trapped spirit with an unpleasant demeanor, so I said to him, "You shouldn't be here. You need to heal. Go towards the light." To which his reply was, "You are the light." Honestly, at this point, I didn't know what else to do, aside from the nasty guy, and it's here in quotes, I had to call him something, so she refers to the spirit as the nasty guy. She also regularly saw a young Victorian boy no older than 8 or 9 who was a delight. He had a lovely, playful energy. Upon asking him his name, he told me it was Thomas. My shift ended, and I was about to leave my client. Julia returned. She took my hands in hers, and as tears filled her eyes, she said, "Ellie, I have something to tell you." I said, "It's Henry, isn't it?" She didn't know how I knew, and as I spent my life being disbelieved, I didn't reveal that, but according to her, Henry had gone back out into the road that very same day as the previous week and was hit by a car. The only saving grace was he died instantly. Without thinking, I tentatively asked, "Have you ever noticed anything unusual about this house?" She enthusiastically said, "Yes." "What have you seen?" I told her about Thomas, and as I did, we both got a wave of goosebumps, the hair standing up on our backs, and the back of our necks, and our arms. We both shuddered. Julia told me that her 2 little girls had often talked about a spirit boy named Tom and used to play with him. In that moment, I felt the validation I needed for so long, and as I said it was, me instinctively knowing about Henry the cat, who also served as confirmation of what I've always known. There is a deep connection between us in the spirit realm, the residual energy of old souls, and sometimes you just need to be still and silent enough in your heart to feel it. I love your podcast, and thank you for taking the time to share my story. Ellie.
Hmm. That was weird that its reply was, "You are the light."
I
Is it just
mean,
drawn? Is that why it's like it can like sense that she can sense?
I'm going to guess that he was commenting on some sort of capacity or ability that she had within her that was born of light. Does that make sense?
Maybe she just stands out amongst
Very well
everyone
could.
else.
Someone was explaining across like one of the platforms or something that, people who are able to see, or people who have a higher ability for, the other side, or at least engaging in it, like essentially stick out like the radio towers with the big red lights on them to spirits, you know. And I mean, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you have to be a certain level of susceptible, and I think that that's why children are oftentimes easy targets. They're still living in a world of imagination, they're still living in a world that hasn't limited them, like uh, a lot of people, have feelings towards Kanye, like, and you're entitled to them, but that, like, he had this amazing quote that I forget what show he was on, and he was essentially talking about how we are the ones that kind of pound out the mystery and like the lore and the joy, that exists within like the child's heart. We come along and we tell them like, that's inappropriate, and now's not the time for that, and things like that, which like slowly starts to like kind of build a child like in their brain, into a mold of like what society wants them to be, which, oftentimes, like I don't think society's always right.
Yeah.
I think we're cookie cuttered in this way, and free thinkers, are people that have retained a little bit of that like childlike wonder or belief in things like outside of what we're told is real and what we're told is right. I think that, I've been like kind of referred to as a Peter Pan like man, you know, in the sense that, I've always kind of rebelled against society and always allowed, mystery. And, someone's like, I'm not listening to a story preloaded that someone's telling me with like my own disbelief or doubt. like I'm watching this person. I'm watching the conviction in which they tell the story. I'm feeling the energy and vibration come off of this person as they are telling me the story and giving me insight to an experience that they've had, and I allow myself to be wrapped up in like the wonder and the what if with them. Of course, I have discretion. I'm able to, sift through like whether or not I feel it was truthful or what have you. But oftentimes, sound, has a frequency, like, in every little nuance. Like honesty has a frequency, and lying and love and manipulation, and it all has a frequency like within it, and I have always leaned on that as my barometer of, right and wrong. Is it time to get up on the table and dance? Well, if that vibration is right, if that feeling like is right, so I get a part of me is still very much that young kid that, if I want to jump up on a table and dance, like I will, and I think that that has a lot to do with my susceptibility, with the paranormal. I allow room in my adult brain to be like, this is a possibility. I don't outrule everything, like I don't allow conditioning of my brain.
I feel like that would be, I mean, it'd just be like dull and boring if you just
Yeah,
instantly cut off every single thing that ever. Like, how could you?
yeah.
Oh, just gonna live in a black and white world with no
Hmm.
imagination.
Yeah, and the people, like people who are willing to break the mold and redefine it, which everybody can do. Literally everyone can do. You don't have to be stuck in your cookie cutter boxed like reality. You don't, break the norm. Like it, and like within like a responsible, ethical way, but be you, be unapologetically you. I think if more of us did that, we'd be living in a much less black and white world. I think that we would have all sorts of color resonating from the human hearts around us. We just need to be shown that it's okay to be ourselves and express ourselves. Beautiful story. Seems that she's got a little touch of something,
Yes,
perhaps seeing into the veil.
and we need to have a moment of silence for
For
poor
Henry.
Henry.
Yeah, everybody, chat. Stop your typing. Bow your heads. Everyone.
Just
You were
45 minutes of this, just the rest of the episode.
you were a good cat, Henry, and we all know that we would have loved you, even if you were a little shit. Cats are just awesome, and you were a cat, so we love you, Henry. Well, what a good story. Two stories coming to us from England, coming from the other side of the pond.
Want to guess where the third story's from?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's an England night.
Is it? Wow. Look at us reaching out. Look at our outreach. We're reaching all the way across the pond.
Yeah, I got the first two, and I was like, well, shit. I'm going to dig up another, go through the emails and find another one from.
How wild is that? That's pretty cool. So we're getting a bunch of stories from all over the world. Pretty wild. And we've only been at this a short time. So I am excited to see all of the different cultures and ways of life and, religious, you name it. I want to see it all filter through as we build an understanding of the lives that we live and the lives that we lose here in this just ever fascinating reality that we call planet Earth. I'm pretty stoked to have such an outreach, and I appreciate you, England. Thanks for writing in. That being said, we're going to go to our next sponsor, and no, ladies and gentlemen, it is not Hellfire Holler. No. As a matter of fact, it's the tattoo studio that I work at. Art of the Hills in Nelsonville, Ohio. Take it away, Art of the Hills, and thank you for sponsoring our video and our podcast today. Some phenomenal artwork with some phenomenal people. I work in an amazing tattoo studio, private little tattoo studio called Art of the Hills, and it's just a really good time. My boss is a falconer, literally keeping the ancient art of using a falcon to hunt alive. That's one of his big things. And the former apprentice, Miss Chan, she is absolutely amazing coming up. She's got her own unique style in the way she goes about stuff. If you guys are trying to book or you're ever in the Southeast Ohio area, or you're maybe just an hour, 2, 3 away, willing to drive for some great work, we would love to take care of you. And of course, me, Deadeye Two Tongues, I've been tattooing for 20 long years. Got quite a bit of experience underneath my belt, specializing in color work and doing neo-traditional. That is my stilo. If you guys are interested, hey, how about you go over to our Facebook, Art of the Hills, and go to our Google. Give us a good rating, huh? It's always helpful. It's a way that you can help a small business without costing you a penny. Art of the Hills in Nelsonville, Ohio. Stop by, check out the portfolios, book an appointment. That'd be super awesome. But on to our third and final story around the internet campfire tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you feeling? How is the chat feeling? All of our stories coming in from across the pond. England makes me feel like we should have a little tea party in a good way.
I was going to say, I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
In a good way. Not like we did in the past. You know, all our animosity's gone. You know, hey.
And we need to, at this point, we all need to join together and take down the globalists that are trying to destroy us all.
Oh, Cody. You know that's
Oops, I can't say that.
False.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Of course, allegedly.
It's alleged. There's no such thing as a dark, shadowy cabal that controls all the countries of the world.
Yeah.
Financial investments, lobbying, and I digress. We all know that that's fake. We didn't read about it in school.
We're not seeing it with our own eyes.
Can't be real. Can't be real.
Who's leading
Oh,
the shirt today?
That's right. Super Chat. Who is winning this amazing Near Death Diary podcast t-shirt? It will be on a black t-shirt.
Unless you want otherwise.
Yeah, unless you want otherwise. But yeah, that just helped be able to see that graphic there. And then on the front, you will have our insignia, the Near Death Diary podcast. You can support us just by simply walking about. Curious onlookers looking at the quality of your amazing t-shirt will be curious and have no other option but to ask you, hey, what is that on your amazing t-shirt? In which you will say, it is the Near Death Diary podcast, my favorite podcast on the YouTube. So we got one last story for the night. So let's get the flames on the internet campfire just kicking up and sputtering cinder and ash and smoke. We need you guys to throw some more logs on the internet campfire and get it roaring as we get into our third story of the night, The Gray Figure by Daniel. No last name on this one, but we got Daniel sending us in an amazing story, and it's called The Gray Figure. I've had a few of those.
Could be anything.
Remember I think it was the second episode? The cemetery? Remember the
pale, tall, naked thing?
Pale, tall, naked guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
The Gray Figure. Here we go. I grew up in the countryside of Shropshire. You know that that's English.
Yeah, you
as fuck.
We ain't got that around here.
Shropshire. My favorite one to say is Yorkshire.
What about the English Gloucester, where it's like
Gloucester.
Gloucester.
Gloucester. Yeah. Yeah, it's Gloucester. Yeah. There's a whole story to Appalachian dialect and intentionally leading people astray with pronunciations. I've done a few videos on my TikTok about this and some of my Appalachian lore videos. But there are cities and towns and villages all around me that still to this day, when you pronounce them with the proper pronunciation, people look at you as designed like you must not be from around here, and everyone's buttholes tighten up and they don't want to tell you nothing about nothing, because the areas around here were notorious for moonshining and all sorts of things that the prohibition deemed illegal, and it still lingers on in the elders and in our passive teaching as young men and women here in Appalachia. But if you come to our neck of the woods, don't say Chauncey or Chancey. It's Chancey. It's just how it is. You can always tell when someone ain't from around here. I grew up in the countryside of Shropshire, and for the most part it was peaceful. My family's farmhouse was isolated, surrounded by heather and woods. Heather not being the name, but more of like the flowery kind of brush bush. The kind of place where you can go days without seeing another soul. I never thought I'd come to regret the isolation, but what happened one night changed me forever. It was late October, and I was walking back from a pub. I'd left my car behind because I'd had a couple pints, and instead decided to take the long footpath that cut through the woods. I had a torch with me, but the beam felt pitifully small against the vast blackness of the trees. Now, is that just a decision we make whenever we're hammered? You know, do you think he would have made that decision to walk through the spooky woods?
Well, I don't know. So far, he painted the picture. It sounded like it was like relaxing and peaceful out there. And I mean, yeah, like I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go for a walk at night. It'd be no problem. But then you never know.
Just wondering if the confidence was in the bottle.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, he's probably done this,
Could
many times.
Yeah, and hey, props, mate, for leaving the car behind. You know, you all drive on the wrong side of the road anyway. You know, glad that you were smart about this, Daniel. About halfway along the path, I noticed the woods had gone unnaturally quiet. There it is. There it is.
I'm still waiting for that to happen to us.
We need like a sound effect for when that happens, because it happens in like every story. But yeah, that was one of the things that actually weirdly made me feel safe during both.
Yeah, so anytime, it's always in the back of my mind. I'm listening, and it's like, oh well, all the bugs are
still humming along, still partying.
That's going to get different once it gets cold.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then you can, unless the wind is high, then you can really hear everything.
Yeah. Be interesting,
I'd say. There was no rustle of leaves, no owls, nothing. Just the crunch of my boots on the soil. That was when I heard something moving parallel to me, deeper into the trees. At first, I thought it might be a deer or even a stray dog, but the steps, they were off.
Sounds a little bit like our other story that also took place in England, right? How big was that thing?
Which thing?
I thought it was 9 foot tall.
Oh, yeah.
Can't remember what part of England that took place in.
Well, while you find that, I'll go back to the story. I stopped, and so did it. The silence pressed in on me, and I called out, "Hello? Someone there?" My own voice echoed back at me. I started walking again, but much quicker this time. But the thing in the trees just seemed to keep pace. When my torchlight cut across the clearing, I caught the briefest glimpse of it. A tall, hunched figure with arms that seemed too long for its body. Its skin, or what I could see of it, looked grayish, almost like it was stretched. The eyes glowed pale, like an animal. Its reflecting light, but they seemed fixed on me. My stomach dropped, and I froze. I stepped forward, and I realized how unnaturally silent it all was. Despite its size, the leaves and twigs beneath it made very little sound. My instinct, it screamed at me to run, but my legs felt nailed to the ground. The thing tilted its head, like it was curious, or like it was deciding something. Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like you literally, like I'd almost rather just be bum rushed, like and just like knocked off kilter and like have it like there, bam, like what was that? Because I would just totally go into an alert mode. But like if this is like a supernatural capability of this thing to make you feel like you can't move, I mean that's a completely different story. I mean, what do you even do then? Can't even fight back, what have you? Like that's a whole different animal. But if this thing is 100% something I've never seen before,
Yeah.
some intimidating force, like staring at me, and like all I have is time to analyze it right back. Like I'm looking at it like, God, it's got long nails and it's reach, and like I'd rather not have that time. I would rather like just go head on with this thing, but
Does it also kind of sound similar to the other thing too?
it does.
I'm trying to find out. Can't remember what episode that was.
The thing by the greenhouse, right?
She saw it on a walk with her dog, and then said it was like what, tall, skinny,
like 9 foot, like the
weird
tallest
long
cryptid
hair
we've had
and like
so
long
far.
nails and stuff too. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it would have been something in the woods, but
Episode what?
Episode 13.
Episode 13.
I don't know if I can't tell where it was exactly.
If you guys go get a chance, listen to.
But it was over in England too. So what if this is like something similar to that?
Could be. You guys listen to episode 13 if you haven't.
Be interesting to
see if you see any similarities between these two.
I really want to figure out the locations and see how far away.
Yeah.
This one and that one took place.
Yeah, maybe we can reach out to him and see if we can draw any sort of correlation.
Yeah.
Then, in a sudden burst of movement, it darted back into the trees with impossible speed. I could hear it now, crashing through the undergrowth, circling me.
Oh.
Man, and I can't even say stay strapped.
No. Yeah, I gotta grab a hatchet and a knife, but then you're not even allowed to do that either.
Yeah, you have to have like a special license for like even a hunting
Can't defend
rifle.
yourself against anything over some parts of the world.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
Time to rise up and get your guns back.
I don't think you're allowed to encourage.
Yeah, allegedly something. I don't know.
Allegedly, that's a good idea that we support. Like allegedly, that's I ran. I don't even remember making the choice. I just bolted the path, my lungs burning, the torch beam bouncing wildly. Behind me, I could hear it, not running directly after me, but keeping pace, weaving in and out of the trees. The path finally broke out of the woods and into the open stretch of moorland. I didn't dare look back. I sprinted until the farmhouse lights came into view, and I collapsed once inside the back door, heaving for breath. My parents thought I had just scared myself drunk, but I know what I saw. For weeks afterward, I refused to go out at night. The woods that had always felt like home suddenly seemed hostile. as if something ancient was watching from the tree line. There's an old legend of a beast that stalks the hills nearby. I never believed it up until that night. I never walked that path. Not anymore. By the way, I love the podcast. Thank you if you use my story. Daniel. And it was a good story. And, you know, if anything, drawing like conclusions and similarities like between places is like worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
They sounded incredibly similar from episode 13.
Yeah, and it was also over there. And I just don't know the locations exactly. I have to look
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, you know, to be able to start pinning that
Well,
stuff. Like,
if it's really closer, maybe we'll just pop it up there in post.
mm,
How
yeah.
how close they were,
Yeah, right. That's something we definitely should do.
and then if it is like pretty close, then we'll start looking into like any sort of lore or anything like that. What this thing could be.
Watch them only be miles apart.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, because I mean, kinda not a big area over
No,
there.
it's not.
Like,
I mean, it would take you a good majority of the day, but you could drive from coast to coast.
yeah,
You know, that's why I think it's like crazy. Like some of the states within the United States, they're literally as big as
yeah.
entire countries.
Well, I mean, yeah, we drove to Florida, took us 16 hours or more.
16. Well, it ended up being 19 total. Yeah, 19. Like that's wild. I know some countries you can drive across within just a few hours, which is super wild, super crazy. I mean, Florida alone, I think what to drive from tip to tip is like 6 to 8 hours.
Something like that.
Freaking wild. And then it's a lot of people like whenever they see our maps and stuff, you know, like they don't realize like they shrink Texas and Alaska, you know, to like fit them like on a map, but they're much bigger than even those maps show, which is super crazy to think about. Like Texas is enormous. So in Alaska, my god.
I think that story from episode 13, if I remember correctly, she had said that there was some construction, some sort of digging going on for something or other, and there had been like what 7 deaths,
Oh yeah.
and she'd wondered if that was something to do with it. So I wonder if with this story, if we could get any other, if he could look into it to see if there's been any disturbances in construction work or anything like that in the area. That's
I've just never really heard anything like it unless it was like unless the what I can
around here. You'd just be, yeah, it'd be like
like a rake.
something. It's a
Like
windy almost,
like a
slightly.
ghoul or a rake, you know. Like I saw a video, I saved it the other day to like make a video on, and it seemed pretty legitimate.
Hmm.
Which is spooky. If you guys don't know, like if you've just stumbled on my podcast, you don't know of my other platforms. I do a lot of herbalism talk, and I also do a lot of debunking on my TikTok channel, and you know also post on Instagram and everything. And I go through videos, and you know, in the world of like the acceleration of AI, you know, like I don't want people to lose faith in you know the spirit world because so many people have put forward you know confusing and very realistic occurrences and accounts, you know. So I do my best to do like debunking, and at least see it through my lens and get people to question the subject matter. You know, sometimes things seem to be a little bit indecipherable. Some things are just super silly and ridiculous. But one video that I saw the other day was a couple guys like driving their car, and they look out into this field, and they at first think that this creature is a rather large buck. But as it comes closer to the vehicle and kind of stepping into the light, you can see it looks like a very elongated gray human. And the video essentially comment section was, "It's a rake. It's a rake." Cody, can we get an image of a rake right here? Thank you, Fog Gilly. And can we also get an explanation of what a rake is right there? But looking at this video, I was like, man, yeah. And when I see the text here describing this thing and also the thing from episode 13, you know, even kind of the ghouly like creature from the cemetery episode, which was like episode 2 or 3, that's where my head goes. Tall, long, like gangly, gray. That's what I'm going to make the assumption that it would be. It's unsettling to say the least. But this thing in this video comes rip roaring through that field as they panic. And I mean, it just, the best way you could really describe it is it's almost like a walking stick, but like a human. It's like super thin, and its movement looks really erratic and rabid. It's icky to say the least. It gives a nice chill up the spine.
Where did this take place at? This story? I'm trying to see how far this is real quick.
Let me.
Don't need to pause.
Shropshire.
Okay, well, it's less than 2 hours away.
Hmm.
So for us, that's like, nothing, but it's on that same side of England. Look at that. Yeah, shit.
Wow, so you have two similar stories, like, and similar descriptions of creature, and they are only 2 hours away. I mean, not to mention, too, like, you're contained on this island. It's not like this thing's getting on a ferry, like hopping over to, like, another island, unless this thing's very capable of swimming amongst the sharks, like, it's trapped. Unless, who knows? It could be interdimensional. It could be, who knows? But kind of eerie that they are, what, an hour and 54 minutes apart?
Yeah, so.
You tell me. Go watch episode 13 and see if you guys feel the same way. But I would say that we just found a clue. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what the hell this thing is.
Yeah, do some more research that those areas and start making dots. And
what is the likelihood that our show would bring two people together from a different country?
Yeah,
that is pretty cool. I just gotta say, that's pretty wild. We should really get a map like that. We put it like on our Patreon or something that shows all the locations of the stories as they come in.
Hard thing to do because it'd be a big map now. We got all over the place, Australia, England, and it'd have to be the whole world almost.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I mean,
that's freaking awesome, to be honest. As we get close to the end, I would like to introduce our third and final sponsor of the night, a peptide and SARMs company that I have had the pleasure of starting to work with. It is beyondresearch.com. Wondering what peptides are? Well, take it away, beyondresearch.com.
I was just diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, and one of my friends had asked me if I'd ever tried peptides. And I was like, no. What is that? And he told me it was a short chain of amino acids bonded together by a peptide bond. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I made him send me an absolute gratuitous amount of research. And what I'd come to find was that peptides are actually kind of cutting edge. Not a lot of people really know about them. I'm pretty used to being a lab rat for myself, and my health was so low that I decided, hey, I'll give it a shot. He sent me this little vial of BPC 157 TB500. I started treatment with it and putting it into the area behind my knee that was scaly and having an outbreak. This little vial right here, specifically designed for skin and also tendons, ligaments, which was what my condition attacks the most. And I felt so much better, so quick. That got me looking into other different peptides. It got me talking to the people over at Beyond Research. You can check out their products at beyondresearch.com. They have all sorts of peptides on there, peptides for losing weight, peptides for muscle regeneration, peptides for skin. And no, it's not a steroid. There are natural occurring peptides and also synthetic peptides as well. But I'm absolutely amazed at how much quicker my healing was because of this little vial right here. and I wouldn't recommend it to you guys unless I tried it myself. So go check out beyondresearch.com. You guys can check it out. There's a bunch of different peptides, both oral and injectable, and see if there's anything on there that might help you and what's ailing you. Go check them out, and you can get 11% off using code DEADEYE at checkout. Love y'all. Happy healing. Stay wild.
How about that? Count 'em, two official sponsors to the Hellfire Holler broadcast podcast. Thank you to Art of the Hills Tattoo Studio and also beyondresearch.com. Thank you guys for sponsoring our video and helping us in our endeavors, and it is an honor and a pleasure to help y'all back in return. So, chat, what'd you think of tonight's episode? Going to England. You know, talk about a place with so much more history. Like,
Yeah, I just like if like I know the goal is to like go to these places and explore these places and stuff, but I feel like if we go over there, we'd have to stay there, like live there for like a month or two just to
oh yeah,
like investigate all these different things.
Can you imagine like when we are successful enough to be like hopping across the pond and
Oh,
like
yeah.
the content we would be creating?
That's what I mean.
over
Like
there?
it'd be doable to be like, oh, we're gonna go on vacation for a week.
Yeah.
But it's like there's so much to see and so much to.
Oh yeah.
We need more than a week. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's documented history to
We'll
these
have-
places,
we'll-
you know, which is what sets it aside. Like we definitely, there's plenty of history to, you know, North America. But it just happens to be like hidden in the oral tradition and telling of native tribes who have, well, essentially, you know, had a lot working against them, to put that lightly. But you know, there's a reason, you know, you have the documentation of history over in England, you know, and we speak English, you know, so there's translations that we understand, you know, and lore that has been written down, you know, for centuries, you know. So I would like to go over there just because there's quite the bee's nest of paranormal activity over there.
I've got the solution. So we'll go over there and we'll have to split up probably. So
Okay.
you take the 9-foot demon creature and I'll go talk to the ghost cat.
I mean, why does that seem like that's how it would be? We all know that's how it would be. I mean, whatever. Like, I got gout on my side, but yeah, I wouldn't mind. You know, live furiously.
I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss either one. So
Yeah, well, I'll make sure to record me getting fucking stomped by a 9-foot creature into the English mud.
just running through the woods. I can't stay strapped. This is bullshit.
Yeah, right. Well, there's got to be a way to give me a permit. Tell me England wouldn't love if an American walked around with a gun.
I don't.
Like, come on, we're good. This is our culture. This is like, you can't take away. It's like a religion to me. You know? Yeah. Now, we haven't actually put this in the past like 2 videos, I believe. But if you would like to have some things adorning our set to put your little thumbprint in the back here, like some of our amazing Patreon members have done, like with this up here, which is an awesome Mothman. What is that, crocheted?
Looks like it.
I mean,
It's heavy duty.
Yeah, it's
You could
absolutely phenomenal. But
Hit
we
that
got
thing with a car and it'd be fine.
got bear skulls. We have all sorts of stuff. If you are trying to have your products, like we got these awesome crosses here that say "Stay strapped" on them. You know, we would absolutely love if you guys would send in products that you've created, things like that, as long as they are products that are official, that we could promote here and help you guys get your products out there. We do unboxing on Patreon to let our Patreon subscribers have the first look into the products before we take the unboxings over to our YouTube channel. We're going to be putting the first of our unboxing up on the YouTube channel relatively soon. But if you guys are trying to get any of your amazing products, or you just want to adorn our set with a little bit of you, we are going to be doing that, and we are working towards getting Cody set up with his filming station, so you won't just have to see me throughout the podcast. We're trying to get Cody set up with his too. It is just a slow crawl when it comes to the financial element. We have taken on quite a bit. We just purchased everything to do t-shirt printing, which is going pretty well. We have some pretty awesome merchandise. If you guys want to go check it out at hellfireholler.com, some amazing shirts. You could pick up some swag, some things that show your love for the channel and also helps line our coffers. Or you can go to Deadeye Two Tongue 740. That is our Patreon. You can join one of our tiers. Top tier, tier 3, officially becomes a member of the vampire hunting group Vagina. You can be an honorary Vagina member. And also, those paid members have their name at the end of the episode. Our way of saying, hey, we love you and thank you. You deserve to be put on a pedestal. But 3 amazing stories for the night coming from across the pond, England. We thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We absolutely love ya.
I think it was Nina, Ella, and Daniel.
Ellie, Daniel, and Nina.
Ellie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you guys for writing in, showing support underneath the English flag. Never been there myself, but it would be pretty awesome to see one day. And I think Cody and I, as long as we just keep doing what we're doing, we're going to get there someday. We dream of having that silver plaque behind us to start our goal, of course, much, much bigger in time. But for now, we're heading towards that silver plaque. We are about 94,000 away from it. But we have high hopes. We love this. This is our grind. This is our thing. And we hope you guys enjoy it too. You want to know how you can show us you enjoy it? Well, you can go hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell button. That way you never miss an upload from your favorite Appalachian Holler Boys. Cody, I think it's about time to stamp the online campfire out. Do you have anything to say before we walk away from this delightful spooky evening?
Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.
Same. Getting close to spooky season, y'all. We are excited, and we have some things up our sleeves to bring you as we get closer and closer. And as always, we appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like to have your stories read on the Near Death Diary podcast, you can go to hellfirehollerpodcast@gmail.com. You can submit your story to be read here on the Near Death Diary podcast. To all of our Patreon members, we love each and every one of you. Thank you for your support. We will see you guys on the interwebs. Until then, how about you do us a favor? How about you stay spooky? How about you stay strapped? How about you stay wild?